Hey there, Allison Scammell here, and I'm back in my old office, which is now my husband's office. So there's a lot of war history books, and the vibe is totally different from when I was in this office. But we have contractors working up in my attic, which is my layer of enlightenment. So I'm back here in my old office, which I do love. It's a cozy little nook, but that's not the point of this reel. What I want to talk about today is reading the news. I've been reading the news in 2025 more than I have in years. And every time I read the news, I am filled with dread and horror by what I see in the news. I mean, those are really the words. I am not happy with the headlines. I try to read a variety of different sources so I can get a full picture. But ultimately, I'm filled with terror and dread by what's happening in the world now. So what do I do? What do we all do? If you relate to that, what do we do? I think we feel this need to tune into the terror and dread because it makes us feel like we're doing something, like we care. And if we don't tune into it, then we obviously don't care. We're treating it like a first world problem. We're spiritually bypassing. We're passing the buck on to someone else. And there's almost I think if you relate to this, there's a guilt we can feel if we don't tune in to what's happening in the world. And that's all false. That's all an absolute false illusion, those feelings of guilt. If we don't tune in, therefore we're not doing anything, that is indeed not true. So I've been spending a lot of time with Source with the question, if the news is filling us with horror and dread, what is the most empowered way we can respond? And what I consistently receive is that to notice where and how you're triggered, just like with anything, whenever you're triggered, that means that there's an energy block there to be released. Always asking, is this coming from me? This feelings of fear or overwhelm or anxiety, is this coming from me? And if you get a yes, you have some, blocked energy ready to be released. So feel the feels, breathe, release. And then the second question to ask would be, am I plugged into collective fear? And it is highly likely, if you've just consumed news headlines that triggered fear, that you will be then plugged into collective fear. So you want to unplug from collective fear and go to your breath. Go to your breath. Sink down into your body. Feel your vibrations raise. When we are in higher vibrational frequencies, we are in the most empowered energy to respond. Joyful frequencies are when we're at our most powerful, our most impactful. If we want to use our voice to say, I don't agree with what's going on, then when you do that from a high vibrational place, more people will hear it. The right people will receive it. You will activate the people who are ready to be activated. I am talking about horror and dread right now, but I am actually in a very high vibrational space because, I'm looking out the window and I see two horses. I love my neighborhood. It's a residential neighborhood, but people ride their horses around our neighborhood, and I love that. And that triggers joy inside of me. And so I'm in this joyful place, sharing this important message with you about important things that are happening in the world. So when you feel your energy frequencies rising, connect to your heart space, then connect to your higher self and ask your higher self, what are you calling me to do and be? Allow your response, your actions, your being to be led by the higher self. And my higher self is calling me to do these videos to share with you one way to respond to the fear triggers that we're all experiencing right now. And the way to respond is to go to higher vibrations and ask, be higher self-led, how should I respond to this? How should I fight back? What should I say? And remember, we're all subject to divine timing. So yes, I think that there is a phenomenon where people stick their head in the sand and they're silent when they should be saying something. But also, let's not be too quick to judge, because we all are subject to divine timing. So if we're speaking out against something before our higher self calls us to, nobody's really going to hear it. It's not going to have the impact. So silence doesn't always mean consent. Sometimes we're following the divine timing, and then when we get the energetic nudge or the yes from higher self that now is the time, that's when our words hit. That's when it has an impact. That's when people hear us. So we need to have grace on ourselves and each other. And if you feel like you know somebody who's not speaking out and you think they should be, before you call them out on it, maybe just ask them, if it's somebody you know, are you being called to be silent? And maybe they'll say, no, I'm not, but I'm scared. And so instead of judging them, maybe we could help each other out, right? This is, I think, light workers, we need each other now more than ever to instead, and not judge each other, but to support each other. So that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. If you need anything from me, don't hesitate to reach out, DM me. We're just living, it's unstable, unsturdy time, but I promise you there's also this amazing light frequency that's available to all of us. I'm seeing it in my private sessions. The healings and the psychic readings and the work that's happening in my sessions is next level. And I've been at this for 10 years now. We're tapping into something extraordinary. So whenever you feel like, oh, how could we be ascending to higher consciousness when it looks like the world is falling apart? Take some deep breaths, pivot your awareness down, connect to the heart space and the higher self, and just feel this expanded consciousness that's always available to us. And listen, if you would like my support and mentorship, I am going to be starting up my signature certification program, Soul Blueprint, very soon. If you would like to hear the details on that, DM me Soul or comment below this video and I will send you all the details on the Soul Blueprint certification program. All right, until next time, take care.